Today we are in Kolding Public Library, and here with me is Jesper, a librarian who works with young people. Hi.
Hi.
Why don't you tell us about what your library does for young people?
Yes. Well, first of all, we don't do something for young people, we do it with young people. So what we have done with young people in Kolding is a group of young people came to us saying, could we make a demo library for our works, pieces of art, our poetry, our short stories, our paintings, that they can be loaned by other people. And so we said, that sounds interesting, let's just do it. And so we made a project and did this and made this demo library, but we call it a demotech.
So, I have a 13-year-old sister who writes short stories and poems. If she lived in Kolding, she could put her work into the library.
Yes, she should donate her piece of work, and we would catalog this work and put it in our database and make it available. We'll chip it so you can loan it. Everyone using the library could loan her piece of work.
Like the other books?
Like the other books. We have collections of poetry, for example. It's really good. I have read most of the collections, and they have a very, we call them Danish, they have a very sharp pen.
Aha.
Yes, they are critical to society, way of living, in ways that when I'm reading some of these poems, sometimes the hairs in my neck, they rise because they're really good. Yes, they are.
How old do you think the author is?
I know this one. It's a girl. She's at the gymnasium. She must be 19, I think, 19, 20. Yeah.
And it's catalogued?
It's catalogued.
Like all the other books?
Yes, and chipped, so you can use it in our self-serve terminals and borrow it, loan it, and take it home for 28 days and return it again.
Just like
Just like that. And so.
But you have more than poetry and stories, you also
Yes.
have paintings.
We do. For example, we have a young woman who painted this.
Oh.
It's a very strong statement, my body is a cage. And so you could loan this for 28 days, put it on your wall, and return it after 28 days. Or you could renew it unless someone had made a reservation on this. You could be a library user in Copenhagen or anywhere in Denmark and make a reservation for this painting, and we will send it to that library.
Jesper, how do you attract young people to the library? How can you make them come here?
Well, what we did was we were welcoming their idea, and they came to us with the idea of the demo library, demotech.
Yes.
And we just said, yes, let's do it. And so we were involved with them in a process of planning and how to carry this out. How should the process be? And so these same young people who did this, they went on a tour of the library, and when we went to the basement, they said, hey, could we make a place for us in the basement? Because before that we didn't have any place for young people specifically at the library. They should just integrate themselves in all the areas in the adult section. And so we said, that's a good idea, let's do it. If you come this way, right here. So this room is soundproof, and the young people said we need some kind of sound equipment so we can make samples, mix different tracks, and sing or rap or whatever, record an instrument. So this is it. And a lot of boys are using this, young boys. There are some I don't usually see at the library, typically, who come here, and this also works as a meeting place where they just hang out. It could be they're just listening to YouTube music on YouTube and just hang out. And some of them, they play around with this software, GarageBand or Pro Tools, professional music software. So they're in different ages and different levels of what they can do with this equipment. So
It's just open for everybody?
you have to be 13 years of age and older, so you can get the key to this place. We installed some video surveillance because it's a closed room. You cannot walk by and see what happens. So it is under video surveillance, and we tell them this is. We tell them take care of the place.
So can you tell us more about the underground library? What's the concept and how was it implemented?
Yes, Underground Library Kolding was intended to be a user-driven concept. Mm-hmm. So the users should be the ones who are driving this library or running this library, so to speak.
Yes.
The users should be in on creating this space in the basement. So it was not intended for us to do it for them, and it's not a concept of how we are working for young people. This is all about how we create something with young people, both the physical space, but also events or tapping into the communities they are in, different kind of youth communities in Kolding, maybe connecting some of these communities, because the library is a public library. It's open for everyone, and so ULK should be for all young people, no matter what kind of community of young people you belong to or feel you belong to. Creative young people who like to paint, it could be skaters, it could be young people who do live role-playing, gamers, all kinds of communities, formal or informal, organized or not organized. The young people who were in on this project of designing how should ULK be made, we had some workshops with them where we figured out, we had some prototypes and how should this space be made. And we made an error that the time from where we found out how should the prototype be of this room and until we actually built the room with the young people, it took 6 months before we started building. There were some different reasons for that, but we learned that a lot of young people who were in on these workshops, they were not interested anymore. Mm-hmm. Too much time had been wasted. So what we learned is, when the young people get an idea or they have a project they want to do, we cannot wait too long or they won't be there. So we have to act as quick as possible. In ULK now, based on these lessons, is that we're not doing any events for young people. We want to do events with young people. We can get an idea for an event, but we need to find young people who want to be in on planning this event. Or
not only planning, but actually doing things.
Doing this, yes.
Painting the walls, very simple.
Yes.
Things. I see.
Everything. So, what we came up with in ULK is a physical space that is user-driven. It's decorated by young people. It's a changeable area. So, 6 months ago, a group of young people decorated the room. A lot of those young people are not there anymore. Other young people are using the space right now, a lot of students. And so the room is not optimized for students. It's optimized for painting or other creative activities, but now they're used by students. So now I'm going to ask the students using this area to go in on a process on redecorating the room so it fits their needs. And I think we need to do this anytime that the users who are there change, then the room changes.
And what do young people come to the library for? What do they do here?
Right now there's a lot of students doing group assignments, or just young people hanging out, playing a game, or listening to some music, watching a movie. So it's a meeting place. It's a place where you study, and it's a place where you hang out. For now.
So it can change in the future?
Definitely, I think it will. And I don't know what it will change into, but I just have to be adaptable. We have to adapt to what they use the space for in the basement. So that's it's very interesting and exciting to work like that, that you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Well,
that's really interesting.
but you need to change.
So the room itself can change, and what it's used for can also change, and then new people come while old people go away. It's
Yes.
always in a state of flux.
Yes, it is.
Thank you very much, Jesper. That was really interesting. Good luck with your projects.
Thank you. Nice having you.